Hey friends, gardening season is just about to start heating up, and there are going to be a lot of gardening plots to till and get ready for planting. But before we get into that, we need to do some maintenance. Do you change the oil in your garden tiller? Today we're going to show you how. I picked up this Troy-Bilt Pony rear tine tiller from a man who was selling it used on Facebook Marketplace. It's been a great little machine. I'm not sure exactly how old it is, but it has a Briggs and Stratton 5 horsepower motor on it. And today I'm going to show you how to change the oil in it. All right, first of all, let's get our bearings straight so we know where everything is. This is where you pull to start. Here's your choke and your throttle speed. Your gas cap. That's the front of your engine. Spark plug is up on top. To change the oil, you're going to need to know where the oil filler cap is and the oil drain plug. So we're going to remove this drain plug and we'll let the oil come out. Then we'll put the plug back in, and then we'll use a funnel to put inside this cap, and that will allow us to put more oil back inside. All right, so you're going to need a container to catch your oil. I also like to put a little piece of cardboard underneath the container just in case any oil spills. And then you use a crescent wrench, an adjustable crescent wrench, to loosen the plug and then remove it by hand, and catching the oil in whatever kind of container you have to catch it with, an old milk jug, a bowl, or in this case an old empty container of oil. Once you've got all the oil out, you want to replace the drain plug. Tighten it down with your fingers, and then just use your adjustable crescent wrench to finish off tightening it. You just don't over tighten it, just moderately tight, finger tight. Let's remove the oil filler cap. Put a funnel in the filler neck, and then you want to add your oil slowly. You're going to need about 20 ounces of oil. You can make sure that you use the right amount of oil is simply to measure the amount of oil that you take out of the engine, and then you want to replace that much oil back into the engine. But the capacity for these Briggs and Stratton 5 horsepower motors on these Troy-Bilt Pony garden tillers is 20 ounces. I would recommend 5W30 oil or 10W30 oil for these engines under normal operating conditions. Once the engine is filled with oil, you can remove your funnel and replace your filler cap. You know, as I was changing the oil in my tiller, I thought about how we always want to own things, but we forget that to own something also means that you have to have the responsibility of maintaining it. We want to own things and we want the joy and the benefit of owning it, but we don't want the responsibility of taking care of it. But the two go together. And you know, Jesus told us this and warned us of this. He said in Matthew 6, he said, "Don't store up treasures for yourself here on earth, where moths eat it and rust destroys it, or thieves break in and steal it." He said, instead, store up for yourself treasures in heaven, where moth cannot eat it, and rust will not destroy it, and thieves cannot break in and steal it. So as we think about the things that we have, we always want more and more and more, but we need to think that things won't make us happy. Things are just tools that God gives us. And sometimes we need those tools. I need this tiller, but I do also have a neighbor who has a tractor with a tiller on it, and he could till my front plot for me. The problem is he can't get to my back plot, as this tractor's too big to get in behind all the raised beds that I have. So I do need this tiller to till what's in the backyard. And that's why I got it. Otherwise, I just let my neighbor do the tilling for me, maybe pay him a little extra money. But I tell you what, paying him a little bit every now and then would probably be cheaper than maintaining, buying the tiller, and such and such. And you think about that in your life. Do you really need this thing? Or could you borrow it from a friend? Could you share some of the things that you have with your other friends? Could you trade? There's a lot of ways to do it. But we need to think about how we need to maintain the things that we have. And we need to remember that things are just things, and they're not going to make us happy. We don't just own our things, they begin to own us. And we don't want that to happen. So remember that, and let's get out there and let's grow and be fruitful.